Hi, everybody. My name is Daisy.
Hi, guys. My name is Ruth, and welcome back to the Rooted and Ready podcast, powered by NAYNET here at the Kuza Studios, where we equip, empower, and resource the youth worker. And we're so excited to continue our conversation with some lovely ladies. Last time we spoke about just behind the scenes of this married to a youth worker. And now we just want to talk about just their journey, even sometimes what happens in the course of that marriage. So we are here back again with the amazing, the beautiful, the full of wisdom and other statements. Shiko and Martha mtanilipa ile mpesa mkomesema mtatuma, but
checking pesa.
yes, so we are back again. Maybe just say hi to us even as we dive into the conversation.
We're back.
Yay.
Like we never left. Anyway, yeah, so we are glad to be back. I'm glad to be back, Shiko.
I am. Yes, amazing ladies.
Always a vibe.
So Nawana.
Thank you.
Yes.
To be honest, your wisdom was so much. We couldn't just let you go with one episode. We were like, nah, we just need some more. And yeah, Daisy, please, what are we going on with?
Today's conversation, or this episode's conversation, is going to be a bit more personal, a bit more tailored to try and understand the mind, the space behind when the youth worker is maybe going through a breakdown, is going through a mental crisis, or just something is happening, and how then do our wives how then do the wives get to what is that space like, and how did they navigate that space? And this was even sparked by the conversation that we had with Pastor Sasino. If you haven't watched that, please go back and watch the conversation. And he just shared his personal journey through ministry, how he underwent burnout, the process through that, how his wife was there during that season. And now we brought the wife to speak about that experience. Pastor Deck has also been very vocal about his journey as well, through the transitions of life, through the transitions of ministry. Shiko is here to tell us about those transitions. So we want it to be, the first episode was also very practical. And we just want to continue with that same energy. Wow. So that same tone for us to be able to understand. Maybe we can start with Martha. I remember Pastor Sasino just telling us a season of his life where he was going through a breakdown, a lot was happening, and he was even comfortable to share and just tell us the moments where it was even hard to just get out of bed and just to understand what was your frame of mind during that time, and how did you come in now as the wife, and even for you, what was that like for you?
When the youth worker breaks.
Wow. I will be one of those people who go to watch that episode.
As others go back and watch them.
Going back to watch the episode.
But I think, I think when someone is going through something and you're their support system, even you are trying to understand what they're going through. So you don't even have a label for it. You don't have, he could say, I was going through depression, but when I was with him as he was going through it, I didn't label it as such, And I feel like the way you can be sick, you have homa and you have symptoms, right? So I'm seeing you have high fever, so I'm medicating the high fever. Or you have a running nose and I'm medicating the running nose. But the general problem is influenza, right? And sometimes I feel like that's kind of how it was for me, because I wasn't living with knowledge. I don't know if that makes sense. I wasn't living with knowledge this is now he's going through a downtime, and the downtime is depression. Okay. But I remember that he used to, one of the things that really was alarming for me is the fact that he would give up easily. All right. And it could have been very intense at the moment, so that it's not necessarily that it's an easy giving up. But you see, in hindsight, it looks like, wow, we could probably have navigated that one.
Yeah.
Okay. But you see, just because he's maybe gone to a place, he's quit a job, and he's gone to another place, he's quit the other job, it doesn't mean that it's because he's going through whatever he's going through, it's easy. It's still really hard.
Yeah.
And I remember when, I think one of those days, but God was so gracious. God was so gracious. One of those days he went in, there was a challenge at his workplace, and he quit. And I was very discouraged. I was feeling like the burden will come down to me. And but you see, everybody has downtime.
Yeah.
So I wasn't thinking of it as depression. I was thinking of it as he has a downtime, and now I have to rise to the occasion. And I feel like I took on the burden, but I had friends that I could share with. And I was like, wow, Sasino is going through something, he's quit his job or whatever it is. And I feel like I was so privileged to have Christian women who would counsel me. Because I feel like those are so rare. Hey, my goodness, those are so rare. When you're going through a real life challenge, even to the extent of, oh, my marriage is coming to an end, there are very few solid Christian women that are available to offer counsel. And I feel like I found a lady, she was my boss, but she was also really my friend. And she just brought so much perspective to my world. And I felt that I could go through it with grace. Yani, she told me that it, because sometimes we feel like life is happening to you, but and you fail to see where God's hand is, right? And she could just gently show me where God's hand is, and I could follow that trail. But so back home, I have Sasino, and Sasino is a very supportive guy. He's very proactive. He's very hardworking. So when you see him in a slump, it's worrying. Sindio? It's worrying. But as a wife, what do I know to do? I know to just pick up the slack and continue. But years later, and this is interesting, that years later, I realized that the very thing that I was doing, thinking that I am helping him from a dump, became a source of another challenge. Right? Because now, because of the fact that I am trying to take care of business, maybe financially, he's feeling emasculated. And he's feeling like I now don't involve him in decision making with money. And that's so natural.
Yeah.
But then you make money and you're like, this money we have, you're saying we have, but you're saying we will do this, and the other.
You've gone.
I've gone. I've made all the decisions. And he's like, but shouldn't we do this? I'm like, but no, that's not priority. And it's really hard for when you make money and then someone is like, okay, so I need maybe like 20,000 from that money because I need to go pay for 1, 2, 3 things. Okay. So the very thing that I was doing, thinking that I am saving or helping him, became a source of conflict. And that now he's feeling, and those were very legitimate feelings. Yeah. Because when someone explains, you're like, anyway, by the way.
Makes sense.
But me as a person who's thinking that I am trying to save face or really hold him, I feel like, what? I'm becoming the villain in the story. If that makes sense. Yeah. But I think the thing that has consistently been there, even in the different seasons of his life and my life, is that we have kept communicating. So that even when he's feeling like, even if I'm not making any money, I'm still the man of this house. Yeah. How do you make that conversation? Yeah. But also as a woman, me now, how do I self-correct if at all I think there's any self-correcting. How do I self-correct? And I feel like that space of just allowing yourself to be teachable, to listen, to self-correct,
Yeah.
for me, I would say is the biggest thing I ever did for him.
Wow.
It's not even holding down the money or holding down a job, right? Yeah, in a nutshell.
Hey.
Sorry.
Wait.
It was a season.
We've gone.
And a half.
Yeah.
And it's a journey. You know,
It's a
sometimes it
journey.
sounds like it was 2 days,
Yeah.
but it's been years. It's been years of a journey.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm.
But it ends though. Like to see you here on the other side.
It
Someone
feels
said-
like I'm on the other side.
Yeah, it feels like you're on the other side. It feels like that.
You are.
You are. But this far you've come,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
this far.
there's a lot of lessons we
Yeah.
have learned together,
Mm-hmm.
and those seasons really just help to bond two people together.
Yeah.
They do.
Wow. Then
I think there's a question I asked Asino, and I think he said you're the only one who could answer that question. I can't remember. I was asking him on the podcast or outside. But you see now you have language for what was going on, but then you didn't have language. You just knew. I don't know if it's a women thing or it's I don't know. This is not working. What can we do for it to work? Let's pick it up and move very fast. I don't know if it's a women thing. It's a firstborn thing. I don't know. But in that season of this person is in this dump, nothing seems to be working. It's constant disappointment because you said you were disappointed. I'm sure there's also discouragement that was going on. What made you hold on to him and to the marriage? And even to the extent where you want to save face, sometimes you're just doing it to unasafisha tu rada. But even deeper than cool, to ensure that the picture is still standing. What made you stay?
I think even though he was going through the motions or the depressive states, he was never unkind to me. Like his character was very intact. Yeah. I think sometimes you can go through stuff and then you are now being mean. You start addictive habits. You start, those things that people do to cope. I feel like he was really protected from those things. And so in my opinion, I believed that it would be okay. It would be okay. I think that the statement I'm trying to say is that I had no reason to leave.
Wow.
As in, there was no reason.
It didn't give you a reason to leave.
There was no reason to leave.
Yeah.
There was no reason to leave. Yeah.
Wow.
And I feel too that has summed it up. I can't say much.
Anything, yeah. The circumstances did not change his character.
The circumstances did not change his
got me as
character.
well, yeah. And it also didn't change you. Because it also showed that you were also solid.
Yes.
And you were in
That's
this
true.
for the long haul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that when he started telling me now the situations that he was, the emasculating feelings that he had, I would pray for him. But you know how you just pray in general. But when he said those words, they gave me language to tell God. So my prayer was so very specific to God. And I saw God answer every prayer.
Yeah.
And I feel like when someone is going through something, when they are able to share what they are going through, then someone else can be able to pray better for them.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it was that when he told me all these things, now I told God, Manze, God, he's saying he's been here for so long. He's saying da-da-da, he's saying da-da-da. Launch him into the next thing. Launch him high. Connect him to correct people. Connecting to, as in you now know what to pray for.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was I had to stick around to see what God would do.
Where are you going?
Where am I going?
That's so powerful.
Yeah, he gave
Yeah.
language to your prayer. Do you share with your community so that you can give them language for their prayers? That's actually quite
Yeah.
important. And I don't know, Shiku, if you can speak about the aspect of community in helping you guys through that season and maybe speak upon maybe your own personal
own, yeah.
experience. I love the part of community and having people to hold you up.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone through such seasons in your marriage where it was so heavy, especially on Odek's side, what was happening behind the scenes that also seeped in to your marriage and how you went through that season?
Well, one, this guy wanted to unalive himself when I was pregnant. Can you imagine?
What?
Wait,
Shiku, when you say but like, wow, that's intense.
yeah.
What?
I was pregnant with a daughter. So Odek is very bubbly, as in he's an extrovert. So you wouldn't know if he's dealing with something.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's with people, he's that guy.
Yeah.
But then when he's alone, that's when now everything just starts showing up.
Yeah.
And so at the time, he just texted me on a random day. He had just gotten a bike, his first bike. It was a blue bike, a UM. And so me, I'm thinking, see any bike? See, he just loves bikes rather. Kumbe in his head, he's gotten the bike so he can die faster. Yeah. Me, I don't know. Do you know? No. So me, I'm just like, supportive. Let's go. And then he sends me a message in the middle of the night talking about he wants to commit suicide on that day. Like, those ones for, baby, just so you know, so that tomorrow you don't hear, baby, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant. I'm in my mom's house. Thika Road, Membli. How am I getting from Membli to Ngong Road? So I called our best man. I was like, Felix, this is happening. So Kumbe, he'd also sent Felix a message.
Okay.
So I'm telling Felix, you need to go. I'm far. So you need to go and just find out what's happening. Well, he did not go through with it, but for me, it was, those things that you hear and you don't know if it will, you never think it will ever come to your house or even just someone close to, like it's that thing. And so when it came, I didn't know how to, because one, I'm going through enough hormones with being pregnant. Then there's this thing that is happening. But then I also have to be there for him. At that time, he just lost a job. So, are you getting? There's a loss of job, there's pregnancy, and then there's this. And so, there was no money coming in. You're pregnant, so now what do you do? So I had some savings. And so anytime we'd go for clinic, I just give him the ATM, you pay. Those ones for me, one. In my head, I'm like, I can't stand, I can't do all those things, so you just pay. And I don't know if I'm learning from Miss Martha here, that probably it may, but he's never talked about it from that point of him just feeling that way. But then it's those things for, as a woman, you're just thinking, acha nifichililie hii kitu. The best way, probably I know how.
Yeah.
It might not be the right way, because again, we never have conversations around what if this happens.
Yeah.
So you do not have the knowledge of how am I supposed to act when this happens. And then you don't even know someone who has gone through that, because people don't
We're
talk
not
about
talking
it.
Yeah.
And so you're just doing what you know best. And so during that time now, I learned that I had to be very intentional with, just being there. You don't know how to be there. So you're just probably presence, ministry of presence. He's an extrovert. So I'd try to be out more. Nizileza, yeah, we do not have the money, but okay, fine, let's go for a drive. It's outside. No, it's outside. So we'd go out. And then I found out Java Junction used to be his place for, okay, in a very depressive state. That's where he'd go. So I'd always avoid Java Junction. This one's for, I am not going there.
Yeah.
Because it might trigger something in him. Let's find somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
And now just, it went from us and our friends learning about it and now just involving our parents. And that helped a lot.
Yeah.
You know that thing where you're like, probably the dads, the moms will feel like, hey, I don't know what to do about this. But they actually came around us and they embraced us and they were just like, okay, fine. They became more intentional in calling and not just calling to find out mkwaje. It's those ones for come out. So they call him Kevo. Kama nikupigia Kevo, how is Kevo doing?
Yeah.
Kevo kwaje? Sawa najua mko sawa, but how are you doing?
Yeah.
To kujeni home. Kujeni home on this day, kujeni home on Sunday. And it will be our home, his folks' place, or just all parents together and we just have a meal. That helped a lot. And of course, now even during the marriage, you have other times when they're really going through it.
Yeah.
And for me, I've just learned praying for him. Because at times, he doesn't also know how to articulate the feeling that he's feeling. You'll ask, how are you? And he's just like, even me, I don't know. So, najiuliza, so now how am I supposed to pray for you if I don't know what it is that you're going through?
Yeah.
But praying, and then there's this thing they always say, timing, even with questions. And so learning the time to ask a certain question. Because you might ask a question and then it's a very bad moment, a very bad time, and it triggers something. And so I think at some point I was like, hey, Appa, I'm walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
Because now I don't know what I'll say, what I'll do to trigger that thing that I also don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And so I just found him on a good day when he was fine. And I just sat him down and was like, okay, now, and yet this is not healthy for us. I need you to talk to your God. Or just go somewhere and find out what it is that's going on.
Yeah.
Even if it's seeing someone. So that even I know how to support you. I know how to be there for you. I don't want to be outside. I want to be there with you. And he was just like, okay, fine. But for now, just, and I know, it was just like, just seeing you in the house with me, even without saying anything, that's enough for me. I'm not alone.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, don't say anything.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the kids. I'm seeing you. Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Just sit here. Once I figure it out, I will let you know. And so I'd pray that general prayer of, please cover him. Please guide him. Because at times now, that's the time he'd ride. And I'm like, Kai Jehovah.
Yeah.
And so anytime he'd leave, and I think it became a habit. So even to date, anytime he's going for a ride, before he leaves, he's always like, pray for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything, but again, it's the road. So just pray for me. And that became our thing, where it's just like, babe, I don't know what's going on, but just pray for me. Any prayer, you just make a prayer to God, and it just be like, God hears you. So just pray, and then he'll direct you however he wants that prayer to go. And God has always done that.
Faithful.
He has always done that. And I think we were reflecting back before the vow renewal on that time. That's like, I don't know how many years ago. Now when he got that first bike. It was just like, out of that came a whole ministry.
Yeah.
Now the mental health
He's so passionate about
thing. But then for us, it was a very dark moment. It was immensely dark. Because yes, we've talked about it. Yes, now we know what's happening. But then even with that, there are certain people that he's not allowing in.
Yeah.
So it's very specific people. And even with those very specific people, he's not giving all the details. Even me, there are certain things that I didn't know about. And like Mother said, I think some of the things that you can notice with a person is when it comes to their passionate things, the things that they're very passionate about, they no longer care about them.
Yeah.
Or they
That's
could
good, yeah.
care about nothing. Oh, okay, fine. And he moves on. He'd sleep. Or they can sleep through a storm.
Yeah.
But those moments he'd sleep from morning, he wakes up, eats, goes back to bed. Wakes up, eats, goes back to bed. Why am I going outside?
Yeah.
What's
What-
the reason
yeah.
for me to go outside?
Yeah.
And he'd just stay in. It's ministry, doesn't want anything to do with ministry. Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And now with that, he went and started doing it wasn't ministry, but he was working, but it wasn't anything to do with the gospel. And so that also led him into depression.
Because he was.
So
away
we've
from
moved
his-
from this. Now the child is here, but now we are going through another phase of depression that I'm like, but see, you wanted, and then now here we are. Okay, fine. So now, God, what is this?
Yeah. He has the job, but still.
He has
yeah.
the job. He's out of the house.
Yeah.
He's with people, but he's still depressed. And the reason was he was doing something that wasn't sitting right with him.
Yeah. He's outside.
But then for him, I would stay here. I'm earning. And plus, I'm hurt by those people, so I don't want to go back to
Yeah.
church. And so, again, he's not sleeping. It got to a point now he doesn't even want to go to that job. Those ones for Aya, we're staying home. Like, wow. Now here we are again. And now, at least for that one, because the first one we didn't even know it was depression. But now we knew what
At least
it
now
was.
you're able to know.
And so he was able to say, this is what I am feeling. And so even for me, I was able to, okay, fine, this is it, sawa. This is what you're running with. This is what you're praying for. And even if I'm to communicate it with people, I know this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wasn't as lucky as Martha, where I had Christian women to talk to. And no, you can imagine I'm dealing with all this alone. You're like, you don't want to tell folks because, again, you're like, hey, mtoto wangu. And so it's me, God, and him.
Yeah.
Those ones for, okay, let me try
Yeah.
and figure out what this is. And so it was tough. It was terrible. Oh my God. It was horrible. But then I think just for me, I don't know, me and prayer. Because if it wasn't for prayer and I didn't have a supportive lot around us, I think I'd have given up.
Yeah.
Because sasa hata we hujui ni nini inaendelea. So now how am I supposed to deal with
Yeah. Whatever
this?
is going.
And we have a
Yeah.
newborn.
True.
And now you're going all these motions that I also do not know.
Yeah.
And so for me, prayer was that. And so I'm always like, if you can find, just a group of women, even just one, who can actually be there and you can be vulnerable with, and they will not judge you. They will not do any of that, but they will actually be there for you.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. That is such a blessing. And so for me, I'm always like, if there's a woman, and I think that's the one thing I'm always like, if you need help, just come talk and all that, because I understand and
You
I know how lonely it can get.
Yeah. True.
How lonely it can get. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez, guys. Wow. Thank you for even just that. First of all, thank you for being that vulnerable and also sharing the intricacies of the stories. And I think just even for the person watching is realizing that it can happen to anyone and they're not crazy, they're not alone. For the youth worker watching and feeling like that they're just going through this thing that feels like the whole world is on them and they're crashing, just to know that you're not alone and that it happens. And just also for the wife that is feeling, what can I do? I can't even put language. I'm just here just to understand from Shiku's story. Even just your presence with them is enough. You can feel like you want to do more. You want to do everything. but just even having your presence there is enough. So I think that's what I've really gotten for first community, just having people to be vulnerable with. Don't die alone. And also just knowing presence is enough. You don't have to overthink what you're going to do or how you're going to help them, but just being present. Yeah. I think that's beautiful. I think today we just needed you guys just to share on a personal level what is happening, and for the youth worker and spouse just to hear from you. So thank you. Today was just straight to the point. It was personal, it was real, it was raw, it was you. And thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
I'm deep in thought.
Yeah. But
Just I think the nuances of marriage are very, very interesting. And I think what I'm hearing more is just learning to hold space for people, especially for your spouse. Because I don't think we get into marriage, we always think, yeah, kutakuwa na shida, but there's
You
no
don't think
description of the shida, itakuwa gani.
Right.
So learning to hold space for your spouse, and just being, okay, so this is we're here. Then let's just navigate through the here. And I think that's what I've heard from both of you. It's just like, okay, just like this is it. Is it about success for better for worse? Yeah. And I feel like nowadays people are changing it, I think, for better. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that doctrine and theology behind that. But this is it. Like, this is it's sitting in the mud with someone of just like, even him, he has no idea what's going through their mind. But here we are. So I have a question. I'm just wondering how to frame it. What do I want to ask? Just that. I want to ask two things. The place of the Christian woman. I think it's Titus 2 that says older women teach the younger women how to honor your husbands, to live that way. And I think I like what Shiku said. It's just like she didn't know anyone to talk to because no one had ever told her she's been through this. How do you, like Martha, create space for somebody to come and tell you? Because I know personally my fear in marriage is that I really want to protect my husband. I don't want to go and say something and then someone says my husband walked down the street and they're just like, the wife. No, right? So how do we create authentic spaces to be able to, for me to come and tell Shiko, this is happening. First of all, for us to create that space, and also for you as an older woman to keep your mouth shut and pray for this woman. I don't know. That's sorry. That came out really bad.
No, it's true.
But not to be, let the gossip not turn into prayer. Yeah. For us to be able to create real authentic spaces, because I also think that's also part of, especially in church, for you to just come and tell this person this and this is happening without you not hearing it next when people are praying. It's like, they're not saying the name, but you can tell.
This is me.
Hii ni story yangu. Ama mtu ana preach na unasikia. Wamesema Jane, lakini hii story ni
ina sound
familiar. Yeah. Number one, how do we create those spaces? Number one. And number two, how do you become that older woman that Titus is talking about, and the woman that you found? And for you, Shiko, the woman that was not there, how do you become that woman? Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
It does, babes.
Yeah.
I think female relationships are underrated. And to be specific, godly women,
Yeah.
Just squeezy people out there. You go tell them about what you're going through. They're like, leave your husband.
No.
And I didn't know where to bring
I
that
can't believe
in.
you stayed.
I don't know where
look
to bring
at
that
you,
in
yeah.
because that's the thing. And that's why I asked you, Martha. It's easier nowadays to just say, guys, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just leave.
Can I go back to my father's house? Or I'm independent enough to, I can't take this.
Yeah. And I think it calls for us to be so discerning of what God is saying. You know how you seek for a husband? And you can really seek for him in many ways. You have a list, I think we need to have such lists for friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And be intentional in seeking them out. So because sometimes we are seeking when we are in a rut.
Mhm.
And I think we need to intentionally seek for older women. Because most of the time we're just looking for peers, right? So there has to be a space of you actually intentionally seeking. And it could be that you're looking for a mentor or just a friend. And it's amazing when it's 2 in 1. But that need is so important. It's so important. You can't walk the journey of life and even of marriage alone. And by alone, I mean not just with your spouse, but you need support from other people who've gone ahead of you, but are godly. And you know why I emphasize on godly? Because I mean, I have friends. Now, I'm not saying that they're ungodly, but they know themselves.
Yeah.
However, as in when you're looking for depth, you know, sometimes I want more than I will pray for you. I don't know if you guys
You know, you
ever
say-
get there. For unafeel too manze nimekupatia shida yangu yote. Guy, just give me a small perspective.
Yeah.
I know prayer, we're all praying and prayer
Everybody's
is
praying.
we are all
It's
praying.
amazing,
But what are you hearing God say?
Yeah.
What can you sense I need to do? You know, and you know, it's like you're trusting your heart
You're pouring it
and your
out.
ears to this person that is offering counsel. And this you're desperately needing to know how have Christian women navigated this before? You know? And they might not know because maybe they might not have gone through it. But I just believe in a wisdom that God gives godly women. And that wisdom is so important. It's so important because it resonates, you know? It resonates. It gives you so much peace when you hear. Because all you're really asking is, what would Jesus do? No, Jesus is not a woman and is not married.
Yeah.
You get, but you're just wanting to hear what is that wisdom that you can cling on. And so we need to be intentional in seeking those out. Tuwatafute wako. But I hear, you know, I understand because I've also been, now to answer you the second part, I've also been in that space for being this other side to offer counsel, or I desire to offer counsel. But I am feeling like my counsel will be, what's that advice? It's called what advice? Unsolicited.
Oh, giving you unsolicited opinion. Yeah.
I was
Who
looking for that
asked you?
word. Who asked you? You know, so you're just in a space where, because you're not wanting to give unsolicited, this unsolicited advice has gotten you into trouble.
Yeah.
So the most I can do is sit back and wait for someone to come. Yeah.
For them to give you access.
For them to
Yes.
give me access. Because actually that's the thing. Most people are going through things, but they will not give you access.
Yeah.
And I understand. It's because we're feeling like my story could go out there, or my my husband will look bad. But you want a friend who unamwambia, this is what's happening, this is what I want to do this, the other, and the other. And that information will not change how I view your husband.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, it will not change our relationship.
Yeah.
Because I am not, I am very aware, number one, that the enemy is against marriages. The enemy is against even our progress. So I am not just thinking that this is an individual. And it's not that it's saying that, your husband will come and say it's the devil, kind of a scenario. But it is not to downplay the power that is at work, you know. So, and I feel like that's what we are looking for. We're looking for someone who will give solid advice or godly advice without necessarily changing because you will reconcile. You've told me stuff about your deck. I know you will reconcile.
Of course.
I know you will reconcile. So me, why am I so hung up on it?
Yeah.
I'm not hanging up.
Yeah.
But the problem is, with our normal friends, we go and we share. So they are on your side.
Yeah.
And from there, because they will not be there when you're reconciling, and you'll not be able to explain how it was the correct thing to reconcile. They'll always take your side and somewhat change their minds about And that also happens with family.
Yeah.
They'll change
Yeah.
their mind about who this person
This
is, unless
person
you get
is.
someone who's mature enough to know that it is life.
Yeah.
That's good. So the younger women need to give access.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't tell, Appa. But
Yeah.
again, you can't just go and tell
Everyone.
blurting out people. It's such an idea. No, we also have
Exactly,
to
you
give people
can't.
access.
Yeah.
I like that. Shiko?
There's something Mother has said where, and I think mine is, at times you look at a situation or a marriage and you're thinking, hey, I don't think I've been married long enough to say something about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This one's for me. I'm just children in this. So
Yeah, we
let
said
me
married
just
for
keep
2
quiet.
seconds. Yeah.
But then I think my mom just told me it doesn't matter even if you've been married for 2 months, you know something about marriage. You do know something about marriage. You have an experience. Even if it's 2 months, whether it's 50 years, you have experience. And so now I have confidence to speak on marriages or give counsel and know that this is not just me who's speaking, that actually this is probably not what would Jesus do. It's a what would Jesus do situation. It's not a what would Shiko do. Because if it was Shiko, probably it will be leave that marriage. Leave that human. But
Don't sleep there tonight.
do not do. And so this is actually what would a Jesus do moment.
Yeah.
It's not a me thing. And that has helped where, you find yourself, it's not just even in marriages, it's not even people who are dating where you actually have something to say. And it sort of feels like actually I'm representing God nicely. Because at the end of the day, I'm meant to represent him.
Yeah.
And not in a way that exalts Shiko. At the end of the day, everything needs to go back to him.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that I'm saying, it's actually helping this person, helping this relationship or marriage for better. And now when it comes to, what is it called? Looking for older women in ministry or just, but it's not even just in ministry,
life.
it's life.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Sasa, if you don't want to come to me, because someone once said, Shiko, you're a very confident person. Mtu anakuangalianga anasema, you know everything. I'm like, I don't know everything. I am children. I also need to be told,
Yes.
you know? But then it's also from a point of, you look put together like you do not need help. But I'm like, but I do need help. I just don't want to carry everyone's problems and I don't know where to offload all these things. And so I think I'm glad that I can go to Martha and just say, hey, chick, by the way, this is what's going on. Mwanaume at this rate, by the way, mi venye naona I am packing. And I'll trust her with my story because as Daisy said, at times you're worried what will happen to this story.
Yeah.
Are you telling it to the right person? Are you telling it to someone who you can trust with your marriage? Because at this point, you're not just trusting someone with a story.
This is your marriage.
You're trusting someone with your marriage that, Martha, I am giving you this marriage to help me carry it.
Yeah.
Where if ikinishinda, I know I can come to you and you will sit me down and you will give me the raw truth. Whether I'm being stupid, you will call it out. Those things.
Yeah.
And so the one prayer that I made sometime, I think it was in 2024, I told God, I need you to give me godly women. Godly.
Emphasis.
Unaona hapo hapa Martha, hapo godly.
Godly
women that I can do life with.
Yeah.
And life is marriage, life is parenting. Life is you as Martha, you as Shiko, that we are walking this journey together with. And as Martha has said, when it comes to godly counsel, because there's secular counsel, and it's so tempting. It's so good because at the end of the day, it's all about self. But then when it comes to marriage, you have to die to self. So you cannot be taking secular advice for a marriage that is built on Christ. Because it also depends. There's secular marriages. By all means, you can have your advice in the secular world.
Yeah.
But if it's a godly marriage, it's very different.
Yeah.
You just can't take advice from anywhere and now come and apply it in your marriage. It won't work.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that I've also learned to know, where if it means blocking certain things and certain pages on social media, you have to.
Yeah.
Because again, you feel, at times we think that it's just friends who can influence your marriage in a certain way.
Yeah.
Even whatever it is that you're consuming every day,
Yeah.
at some point, it has a way of influencing how you think and how you view things.
Yeah.
And so I've made a very deliberate decision to, I love your vibe, but what you're speaking doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
And the kind of person that I want to be, the kind of parent that I want to be, the kind of wife I want to be, the kind of friend I want to be. And so because I don't want to say that and I don't want to feed on that, block.
Yeah.
And so you have to be very
You
intentional.
have to be intentional.
And so nowadays I'm just like, and with that simple prayer, now I know that I can get, and I have gotten some really godly women who I can, I tell you, I'm leaving the cuckoo.
Let me tell you something.
And even if it's one person,
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
does that make sense? Even if it's one person, if you have two, amen, and God bless you. And even if you have more, but for me, I'm like, even if it's one person or two, that's enough.
Yeah.
Where I know at the end of the day, back to Daisy, where my marriage, my life is in safe hands.
Yeah. Completely.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, that's such a high note.
And also when it comes to being the older woman,
Yes.
taking people as they are. Those ones for, okay, this is it. I come. I am not going to try and change you now because I also don't know where you're coming from.
Yes.
Let me listen to you first. Let me listen to where you're coming from. What's your dynamic at home? How have you been brought up? Okay. And now understanding from that point, okay, fine. This is it. And I always try and ask God, please, whenever I speak, let me die to self.
Yeah.
Let me die to me. So that at the end of the day, sitaka niseme, but that was all me. If when I'm speaking, it's God who is speaking through me to this person, because probably this person just needs healing.
Yeah.
And you can't do that when it's coming from you.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, guys.
Oh my goodness.
What more can we add? What more can we add to such an amazing conversation? I think you feel like I'm just seated at the feet of the images where like a wiser older person is speaking and then you're at their feet. I'm feeling like that just like through this episode. And guys, I know we'd want to spend more in there. So I can just see Daisy thinking of questions, but we have to come to an end, guys. I have to be that party that says now we need to also stew in that. We also need to think about all the things that we've received and just work on that now also for ourselves. Yeah, so that we can get this information and see what else we can do.
Yep.
So I think we have to come to an end, but we want to thank you, ladies. Thank you for allowing yourselves to be used by God, speaking even into just lives that you do not even know of. And maybe just to also share if there is anything on social media, your handles, so that even if someone wants to slide in the DM and just say hi, I was watching that episode. I can't share it with the NAYNET page because just maybe your social media handles, just anything else that you want to share with us that we can reach you on.
My handles are Martha Wairimo Sijenyi. That's on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on TikTok.
Okay.
I'm on TikTok. I was actually trying to remember my handle on TikTok. It's correct. Martha Sijenyi is it.
Martha Sijenyi.
Yes, so you can find me there. Ask any questions that you might want.
Thank you.
As the Lord would lead you. Yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Instagram, Shiko Mwangi Odek. Yes.
Utanipata hapo tu.
Papo. Find me there.
Guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Please just even support them, just follow them also, and just appreciate them even in the comments. But as we're so grateful, I think as a team we are grateful as NAYNET. There's so much more. And as we come to an end, just to appreciate our podcast host, the Kuza Podcast Studio. We are so grateful to Kuza. Please also check them out on social media, the great work they are doing. And on that note, there is something amazing coming up in the next few months. Daisy, what is it?
Yes, we have the me bado sijarudi.
Please, Rudy, you have to move with the times.
We have to move with the times. We
Yeah.
have the Advanced Conference 2026 happening from the 22nd to the 24th of April 2026. It's going to be at the SEK St. Mark's Westlands. It's very close to the road, very easily accessible. And more information on that on our social media handles. I think everywhere it's NAYNET_KE or
It'll be
NAYNET.
written here.
It'll be here, down here. Thank you so much for engaging with our content. I pray that this has been, I think for me personally, it has been very, it has equipped, it has empowered, it has also been such a beautiful resource for us to know, even behind the scenes of marriage to a youth worker. And I think just in general, the issues of marriage. So thank you so much for joining us. Please remember to subscribe, like and share, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.